back when the Indiana Jones movies were out back in the late 80s, early 90s, I, like everyone else, was a huge fan. Probably one of the reasons that got me into loving archaeology, at least got me to the door of archaeology. So there's a weak spot in my heart for Indiana Jones and his movies. So when I heard that they were going to have this new movie, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And after watching it, I will say it wasn't that bad, but it was too long and the story was very weak and that ending was kind of horrible. I thought the CGI in the beginning where they de-aged him or just basically, computer animated him, it looked fake at times. I mean, it looked better than most CGI and other properties, Marvel, DC, just those come to mind. It was better than those, but you could tell in the eyes it didn't flow naturally. And sometimes he looked cockeyed with his eyes, but I could appreciate the effort. I thought the beginning part, the pacing was really good. You're right back into old school Indiana Jones with those crazy maneuvers, his fighting style, just the action. And then after when he turned, when we're obviously back in senior citizen Indiana, you're like, it just grinds to a halt. And then it picks up again, but when it just takes its foot off the pedal, you could feel it. When it's showing you the action and it's going on, you're fully intrigued. The Indiana Jones character is just such a easy character to fall in love with, and Harrison Ford falls into it in those action scenes. You could tell that was probably the fun part of being Indy, was those fight scenes, and those were great. I thought the acting was good. I thought the premise about the Archimedes, I can't pronounce that thing, but the dial that this whole movie is based on was a far, stretch. And I know that he kind of points at it that he's seen stuff in his other movies and had voodoo and had, he's seen some stuff that he can't explain. So it kind of lays the groundwork for when he travels back into the past. But when you do, you're kind of like, okay, this is dumb. Because then all of a sudden you're like surrounded with Roman soldiers and you're in that world. And then he wants to stay. And you're like, why does he want to stay? Like, that doesn't make no sense. But, it is what it is. It was a weak plot device. And then the ending was kind of just... it was an ending. His wife is back after they were gonna divorce, and they let us know how Shia LaBeouf died because he enrolled in the army, and I'm assuming he died, and he wanted to take that back if he could go back in time, and so it was an okay movie or an okay sequel. They did take aspects of the original Indy and put it in. It definitely felt like an Indiana Jones movie, but the magic is gone. If that makes more sense to review this movie. But for me, this movie gets a B rating. Anyways, those are just my thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments, and like always, that's a wrap.